Okay, it is 9:34 a.m. and we're going to convene the June 18th, 2024 RPRC meeting. 9:34. First order of business is adoption of the June 4th, 2024 minutes, which were, I submitted, I attached it to everyone's agenda. I'll make a motion to adopt those minutes. Rob, second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, first up is 101 Old Hickory Way. Do not see anyone in the waiting room. No one's here for that, right? Okay, then I'll pull it up and we can discuss. So this is a piece of property that's owned by the town of North Newcastle. Town board received a petition from this property over here, next across the street. Show you. So here's Old Hickory Way, private road. This piece is owned by the town of North Castle. And then the person who wants to buy this piece lives in this house. It appears he has some issues with his neighbors in maintaining Old Hickory Way, who's responsible for repairing the foot. And he'd like to buy this piece and extend a driveway from Pine Ridge Road connecting to his existing driveway. The town obtained an in-rem foreclosure. No one paid taxes on it. And currently this is closed. There's a dirt path that exists that connects to Old Hickory Way. The highway department has blocked access off because it's not safe. Apparently that blocked access gets removed regularly, but what this property or what this potential property owner wants to do is, formalize and construct a driveway and a pull off in this area. Oh, actually, it is Peter. Here. Hi there. Hi, Peter.
Hi, how is everyone today?
Good. So I was just giving a background of what's proposed here and the history and why your client is seeking to buy this piece of property. I was just getting to the part where there's a good amount of wetlands and a stream crossing. That's part of this. But maybe you could just explain existing conditions a bit.
Sure.
Because I know there is an existing path there. I believe there's an existing culvert there as well.
There is. If I could share my screen, let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see, where's the share?
The green button on the bottom.
I got it. Okay. Okay, can everyone see the screen? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the property in question is this parcel here. It's currently owned by the town. There are existing wetlands that have been flagged, which are here. They're shown in blue. And there's an existing 24-inch culvert with two head walls there. The culvert is corrugated metal pipe, which is rusted out at the bottom. So we definitely want to be able to replace that, same size with HDPE, something that is smooth wall and provide a little bit more expected life. There is an existing path, traveled way, which is shown by this dotted line that pretty much ends at our client's property. I could highlight that for you. So it kind of starts here.
You can
And
see it. Yeah.
okay, I'll do one side since I'm already doing it. So that's the path. So that's the existing conditions. Again, the wetlands were flagged. You can see the wetland flagging that was done by Tim Miller and Associates. If there's no questions on the existing conditions, I'll be happy to go to the proposed.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so the proposed conditions is the existing traveled way right now is about 9 feet. We're going to expand that to 10. Here's the new culvert. Now, if we could reuse the head walls, we will. We did provide a detail for a precast head wall. The advantage to those is it's not a lot of disturbance. They're precast, so they're easier to put in. But either way, we prefer to reuse the stone if we can. It just depends on what the conditions are. And then we are providing a little pull off here. It's a long driveway. We didn't really want this to be, substantially wide like a roadway or, promote speeding. It's, we wanted to keep it curvy, and we provided just a 10-foot pull off on that. The grading is very minimal. We're cutting into this slope a little bit. We're losing a couple trees here, but our intent was to minimize the work in this parcel. And then we are providing there's some grading down this hill. We're providing a swale that, accepts the water that comes off the roadway with some check dams in there, so that acts as water quality and also acts as mitigation. So there's no increase in runoff. We're conservative in our calculations, but existing compacted stone per the DEC and per TR 55 is treated as impervious. But we just want to make sure that we had, an appropriate water quality and mitigation measure. And unless this is sediment erosion control plan and tree protection, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that.
Yeah, no, that was very helpful. Thank you. Peter, are there going to be any access controls for this driveway?
We haven't discussed access control with our client. If he's no longer using Old Hickory Way, I could see possibly putting up like a plastic chain and 2 posts so that it does provide emergency access. There's only 2 houses on Old Hickory Way other than our client. Actually, I should double.
Yeah, I was really talking about the new driveway.
I'm not. We weren't proposing any access control.
Okay. Or sign.
It's necessary.
No. Well, the reason I ask is there's still an emergency access easement over the property. That doesn't go away if you buy it.
Yeah, we weren't proposing any automated gate or anything, other than that. Be just a driveway, just like any other driveway.
Okay, so the thought would be, if anything, you'd be providing access control on Old Hickory, not on the new driveway.
If it's required, I mean, we weren't.
Oh, not required. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I guess, your client's spending a lot of money preparing this driveway, and it's theoretically possible that all the other homeowners on Old Hickory would use it as well.
Well, that is certainly possible. Again, there's limited number of parcels there. I'm just going to go to Westchester
Are there any parcels to the south that are serviced by the right of way?
Um,
South meaning,
to
Bottom
the,
of the
to
page.
the bottom right.
Now, so are you removing the driveway, the existing driveway from the plan?
yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. You could just, well,
Why not? If it's
well,
not needed,
I don't, because he doesn't own Old Hickory either.
but it's only servicing his
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's why I asked if there were any other
Uh-huh.
parcels to the south.
But we don't need to get into that. That's
That
a civil,
that
you know.
can
Yeah,
isolate
so
the-
there's basically this parcel here, that parcel, and this is our client's parcel, and that's it. So, you know, I mean, even if, and look, the GIS even shows that,
Yeah.
that traveled way. So even if, like, these two used it, I mean, it wouldn't really be a tremendous amount of traffic. And if he didn't want them to use that, you know, I would say that's an issue between him and his neighbors. Right?
Correct. I'm more concerned what you're doing with the new driveway. So if the answer is that will be open, and if you're going to control access, it will be via Old Hickory Way, fine.
Yeah.
And that's
Right now,
important
there's
because
no
we have to
access
keep,
controls, but we
Fine.
understand that there
and you
cannot.
have to keep that open for emergency vehicle use per the existing easement, exactly. Okay,
And we can deal with it as an individual driveway. We don't have to deal with it as a common.
correct. He's buying the parcel. Yeah, he's gonna buy that from the town. Right, so that makes it easier. All right, so let's talk about the wetlands. Aaron, any thoughts? And John, you know, about
It's a
this?
plate, it's really replacement of the culvert,
yeah.
slight widening of the driveway.
On a-
I
on
don't
a road
agree
that's
with,
there.
Peter, I don't agree with you 100% that it's impervious. I think the CM value is probably 89 on the existing driveway, so there's a little increase in runoff.
Hmm.
But the swale you're putting in there probably can address the mitigate that.
Yeah, like I said, we were conservative in our calculations because we don't like to be in this situation where we're arguing over a curve number. But, you know, just as a technical matter, if you read TR 55, it has a much lower value. But then if you go to the footnote, it says traveled way with, you know, with easement. So, or a road with right of way. So, you know, if you kind of look at it as like a 24-foot road and then, you know, a 50-foot right of way, and you do a quick CN, you see you get, you know, 98. If we were constructing a new gravel roadway, we would be required, and Keller would make sure of that we modeled it as impervious. So
Yeah.
rather than arguing over what the existing is, we were very conservative and said, let's assume the entire roadway goes to that swale and let's mitigate, you know, make sure we mitigate it.
So,
We don't see eye to eye, but I think you're doing a good mitigation.
well, he's doing more than you would have required, right?
Yeah,
No,
we
no.
may not see
Oh,
eye to
that's-
eye, but we're in the same,
Well, you
Right.
really have, you have
we
two
could
dirt
reach
tracks.
out and shake hands.
So it does absorb water.
Got it, got it.
You know, it's not that it's a
No.
river driveway. But I think what you're proposing will probably mitigate it. We just gotta tee up the number to show that.
Okay. Aaron, any thoughts on how you know, the wetland aspect of it?
Hard to say without seeing it. Do you think
You've been
this,
seeing it in the field.
correct, yeah. Would you think this will come to the conservation
Well, that's what
board?
we're,
Yeah.
that's what we were gonna talk. I don't think it needs to go to the planning. Do you agree?
I
This
mean,
is the,
Then my other question, which isn't really related to the conservation board, is will there be a public hearing for the neighbors to understand what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of, it seems like it should go to conservation board.
Yeah, this is the, I just highlighted the 100-foot offset of the wetlands. And again, I'll just, get my glasses back on here. I'll just roughly like follow these wetlands here.
Yeah.
You know, just so we're,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Do administratively and
Yeah.
have the conservation board review.
Yeah,
it
that's what,
and
I'll make
advise us
that,
on how to handle it.
I'll make that motion. So I'll make a motion to not require planning board, but send this to the conservation board for review, and we'll process it as an administrative wetland permit.
Great.
Anyone want to second that? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so no planning board. We'll process it administratively, but you have to go to the conservation board and get their okay.
okay, so what's our next step? Do we need to make an application to the conservation board?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
That's what to do. Yep.
okay. Sounds good.
All
I
right.
thank you all for your time and thanks for listening to us.
If you do it in the next 2 weeks, you can get on for the July meeting, because there's no August meeting.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
important. Okay.
So
We'll do it in the next
there's a
2
meeting tonight, it's too late to get on that agenda,
Mhm.
but just as long as you get on July.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you may want to, before you submit, Peter, you may want to address the mitigation. Look at the wetland law. It's 2-to-1 mitigation on disturbance.
Right, okay. I mean, the issue is we don't have a lot of space, you know, it's not like a parcel. But we'll look at.
Yeah.
We can look
Okay.
at that. I mean, there's no real area. Maybe there's a small area here where we could give you some mitigation.
Yeah, I mean, you'll do the,
Mitigation doesn't always have to happen right on the site,
that's true too.
so.
Yeah, if it can't be done on the site, it could be done on an adjacent site. And
And
if
his-
that can't work, there's a fee in lieu. So you'll figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small parcel, like, I don't want to disturb it too much. So if there's a fee in lieu, I think, and I'll talk to our client, but I think that's the direction we'd like.
That's the type of conversation you'll have with the conservation board.
Okay,
But part of the mitigation could be along the driveway there. It adds, you're spending money on plantings that's going to benefit your client because it's going to improve the aesthetics of his driveway.
Mhm.
Sure.
So
right,
you may
right.
want
But
to there
so we don't mind doing plantings. I mean, I think that's a win-win for everyone, but how do the plantings offset the area? Like, is it 200 square feet per plant or?
Well, there are different ways. It can be actual physical planting. It can be removal of invasive species, can be mitigation if that's what's happening out there. It can be other things like that.
Okay, all right. We'll look into that and we'll try and make a submission for the next 2 weeks, within the next 2 weeks.
Great.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay,
Okay. Bye now.
you too.
I agree.
Next is 6 Spruce Hill. No one is here for that. This one's relative. Let's discuss. Okay, so what we have here is the building department found that the applicant expanded their driveway to include like a mini sport court. And they built these walls. And they need to legalize it. Everything looks okay on my end. It's about 1,000 square feet of new court. Here's the old plan. You can see the driveway, basically a straight line. Now they expanded that area here. Mostly engineering issues,
Yeah.
right?
Do you have a quantity of fill there?
No. No, there's,
All right, so-
there's nothing on this. It's a sketch, it's somebody.
All right, so we can note that, so they'll need to obtain the fill permit.
Quantities of fill?
You'll need to do stormwater. And I don't know how high the walls are, but I'll take a look.
I would say,
5 foot to
Yes.
0.
yeah,
5 foot, they look like the walls.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, there was new walls.
Yeah.
Nicely
Absolutely.
done.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And they're interlocking block.
Yeah. So okay, they'll get the fill permit, they'll do the engineering that they need to,
Yeah. we'll allow-
but there's nothing nothing inherently
No.
problem with. Everyone okay with that?
No wetlands.
No well. Yeah, no well.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to send this to building. Anyone wish to second?
Second.
Larry, all in favor? Aye. Okay. $45, windmill. You guys are up. Anything, want to just give us a little bit of background while I pull this up?
Sure, got a design by Hudson Engineering for a new septic remediation. And it's getting pumped to the front of the property and we need to take some trees down.
Okay,
So we need a tree permit or,
anything on your end, John?
I didn't even see the plan, I just thought it was taking down trees. I didn't
Oh, okay.
realize you were doing
Yeah,
remediation of septic.
yeah. This,
45 windmill repairs.
it's a well-screened lot, right? The trees that are coming down aren't really gonna impact much. In my opinion. There. it is. Right, so there's a good substantial amount of trees up here which are going to remain. So I don't really have any major comments here. Let's see. Oh, it still looks, if you look at the site plan, even where the new septic is, it has a lot of rock outcrops. So what, you're chipping it out? What are you gonna?
no, they're like boulders. Some of them are getting moved and the system's kind of fitting in.
Oh, you're gonna,
Yeah,
leave
it's
it,
getting raised up.
So in there.
Yeah,
all right, so you'll just cover what's there and,
pretty much,
all
yeah.
right, fine.
And then it's
The
a
reason I
shallow
ask
system
is
that's
if you're
going in.
gonna, if you needed to chip or anything, you have to get a separate permit. but
No, we're not
You're
breaking
not gonna,
rock. You
yeah.
can't break rock for
Okay.
septic.
And
And there's a couple of trees in the back by the tanks.
Yes, I
X
saw
on
that.
that sketch. so
Yeah,
you
I
can
saw
see
that too.
There's a couple of trees that gotta go.
The arborvitae plants, some of those are the deer.
The
Like
arborvitae,
candy for the deer, it's just
It's
there's
the-
a couple of strains of
It's
them,
no, but these are the
the ones that are
the
resistant.
ones that resist the
Okay.
green giants, yeah.
yeah. So, given where it is, I think it's fine. I don't really have any concerns. What?
No,
Oh, sorry. Everyone okay with this?
no, yeah.
Aaron?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to send to building.
Second,
Thanks, Larry. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. We'll just submit to the building department for the actual tree removal and whatever. Do they need a permit for the site work too?
No, for septic.
Okay.
Septic, sir, exempt, I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
So bringing in any bank run, right?
Oh,
We
they are.
are a little
They
bit.
How
are.
much?
250, maybe 250 yards to level out between the boulders.
All right, anything more than 250 need a fill permit.
Oh, yeah.
Guess it's 249.
No, it's 250, it's anything more.
no, I'm saying it will be 250.
Well, Look at me, 250.
You knew that number, huh?
It expands the truck. Packs it.
Little moisture, right?
Yeah,
Probably just good to get their septic fixed.
yeah.
The best thing for the
Yeah,
environment.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's close to the Brook Lake there.
Yeah.
The existing one,
The
that's where it is.
existing,
Mm.
Yeah.
The trees,
Hmm?
I mean, I plotted them.
Yeah,
sort of,
so,
and can they go in a different spot?
if you need to move it,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, cause I mean,
You're
I
talking
kinda
about
just,
like for site conditions, whatever's there. right?
yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the trees that I said we were
Yeah.
gonna put in, but can we put them in different places
Yes.
in case they don't work? And,
Yes,
cause I don't remember if there was other little trees there in the
Yes.
way or something,
yes, not a
Okay.
problem.
as long as we put them in.
So file a tree permit?
Yep.
And then
You're
if you
good.
wait for anything, just file it.
I don't know how long it takes to
No, we
issue it.
right away.
Yeah.
Once you file it, you can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, do it.
okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Oh, this is right above Long Pond there,
What's that?
right above Long Pond.
Yeah, it's right with that intersect, what's the street above? It comes, hits it.
Thornwood.
Thornwood,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right in front of Thornwood. right?
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's going to the front of the house,
Right.
away from the
Okay,
lake.
yeah, I'll
get it
do
away,
that.
yeah.
Good.
All right, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, one DeVoe. Share, one DeVoe. Okay, so they're renovating this existing house. And they're putting a small addition, and I'll go through the elevations, Mel, so you can take a look. But I think it looks good. Elevations, all right, so here is proposed front, here's existing. So, not a huge addition, it's basically this corner, right? This is one.
It's just gonna level out, right?
Right, exactly, yep.
Trees coming down.
No trees, no trees. And rear elevation ends up looking like this, I mean, it's a very normal,
It's just a faceless house.
it's a facelift, right? It's really the interior, but they're picking up some new square feet where they can.
Full square foot.
What is the total square foot? I'll go back and. It is. Floor area worksheets. Okay, so it is 400 square foot addition on the first floor, 380 on the second floor, and then they're building a garage bay, so another 200. So 7,000-8,000-ish. Yeah, so the existing garage, ends here, and they're bumping it out to get another bay.
Where's the property in relation to neighbors?
Yeah, I'm sure. There we go. So it's right in the middle, basically, the house.
Okay.
Everyone okay with this one?
Yeah.
John, anything on your end?
Yeah, he has to give us a site plan, grade, drainage,
Okay.
and I didn't provide any of that.
Is
It's
it,
nothing,
yeah,
no concerns.
yeah,
No.
right, so everything's pretty much there, it's
Yeah.
within
An
the,
easy lot to work. with.
exactly,
So Adam, when I look at the
yeah,
photo.
Yeah.
What's all that stuff going on?
I'm guessing that when they took
There's a
that
lot of
photo,
stuff. Whoa.
maybe they were selling the house and they were, I don't know, what they were doing. Could have been
Looks like there's.
septic repair, like, I
Well,
don't
it
know.
actually looks like there's trees that are wrapped. If I got that right, further up, it looks like trees to be planted or.
Maybe,
Am
yeah.
I just,
But just, you can, from the aerial, there's some workers there, I don't know what they were doing, yeah, don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just, has anyone seen this? Just,
I mean, it's a normal house, but I don't know what happened.
Did they start already?
Maybe they did the interior.
Like everybody
I don't know.
else.
Yeah.
Wait.
I didn't go in.
looks like some trees have been bald and are sitting there,
Yeah, maybe
unless
they're
I'm just, my eyes.
planting for sale. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know, it just,
It's hard to see.
Yeah.
Shadows being cast. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to see.
Black and white too. Color.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to pull up the aerial? I can.
or, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody do a drive-by.
Uh,
The aerial is, how recent will that be?
I'll tell you the date. It's pretty recent. Yeah. March 30th. Oh, no. It was, yeah, March 25th,
Yeah.
24.
That's the
Oh.
same picture.
Well, yeah, that's where I got it from. I don't know, it could be the roof. I don't know, I can't tell what these guys are doing.
It could be the roof, right?
Yeah.
You see there's plywood
Yeah, you got
exposed on the
one.
side.
Oh,
right?
yeah, see, yeah,
So
they're
I think
fixing the
doing
roof. Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it is, and those
Yeah.
are roofing bands.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. You look good then.
Yep. All right, so any concerns about what they're doing, how they're bumping it out, or what it looks like? All right, then then I'll make a motion to send this to building, subject to the comments. Anyone want to second that? Second. All in favor? Aye.
Right.
Okay. Next, 8 Roseanne Drive. Let's see, we have someone here, yes.
Michael Ferrari's house.
What's that?
It's Michael Ferrari's.
Yeah. One on
This one?
Yeah.
No, DeVoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, the last one.
That's why I thought it was done already.
No, that was definitely the roof. Ira,
He's got a permit. I gave him.
You with us?
No.
TV.
yeah. You might be watching it on YouTube and then there's a delay. Let's see if it comes on.
Just nothing for the permit for the roof.
Uh,
It really is.
uh,
I gave him for all the interior stuff.
Well, it's just, you know, it's on
It's up to
6
him.
inches away.
I'll just have to remind him.
All right, well, if Ira chimes in, he can join us. I'll pull up. Meanwhile, 8 Roseanne. So Rob and I have been out here before the sale of this property. So it's a lot of outbuildings. But that's not what they're doing today. They're focusing on doing some renovations of the existing main house. And it looks really nice. So here's the site, Breezemont, you can see is over here. This is the main house, and there's a pool, outbuildings here, outbuildings here, outbuildings over here. Lot going on. But what we're focusing on are some changes to the existing main dwelling that are relatively minor, but you know, are going to have some significant impact to the benefit of these homeowners. So they're changing this area up here. See that it's open porch, closing it, yep. And they are putting this area over here. And
So
then
they're centering the door.
yeah, and then they're adding all this, bringing all this light in with this addition. And
Oh,
it's-
nice.
It is, it's really,
That's
it's
beautiful.
really nice. Oh, yeah, they're definitely making
Wow.
it better, not criticizing in any way. Yeah, so, and none of this is visible from anywhere, you know,
Look like a massive lot there, right?
it's a massive lot, yeah, so all this looks good.
Okay, are there any issues?
I don't think I have any issues, but I'm gonna double check. Anything on your end?
No, this is standard
Yeah.
stormwater. And if Rob thinks anything, she's gonna help the department with some.
Yeah, yeah, that was my comment. Building department should determine whether health department review of the septic is required. Yep. All right, so this is a really nice plan. Any concerns, Mel, right? No.
No.
Right. No.
But it was kind of weird.
So I'll make a motion to send to building. Sure. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Sorry, we're up now.
Good to see you.
Was that a little bit enjoyable or interesting? Brian's not speaking about that. All right, let's get Ralph in here to explain everything. Hello, Ralph. You don't have your microphone icon. You hear us now? I mean, you hear us?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Morning. Okay. Is anyone else coming? Is it just you?
I believe Galena was going to try to log in.
All right. Do you think she was using her phone? Let me see who this is.
Yeah, maybe.
Galena, are you with us? Galena, are you there? I don't know. Okay, I don't know who that is. So why don't you take us through the plan, Ralph, if you can?
Do you want me to pull it up or you have it?
Yeah. Well, I have it, but what's easier for you?
I'll pull it up.
So what, this project has a history. There's a lot of stormwater issues on Seymour Place. The majority of the issues, I think, have been resolved by the highway department making certain improvements. And then Galena, who is a developer or owns other lots, made some other improvements on her property. And I think the stormwater flooding issues seem to have improved.
And we also have St. Nurses in front of us.
Right, and St. Nurses, we're gonna make some
Gonna try to
improvements
Get some
there as well,
improvements up there.
to really get a handle on this. The lot in question was purchased recently. Tear down the existing house, new house is proposed to be constructed. The neighbors have expressed concern with stormwater, obviously, but also with the design of the house, in particular, making sure that the design is not too similar to other designs that have recently been constructed on the street. So that's really to Mel's.
And the same builder had
Yeah.
built two other homes.
Two other
on the street
homes.
So far.
Right.
This is the third one.
Right. There's also been some concern about where workers who are going to be building this house are going to park. And I explained to some of the neighbors that if there's legal parking on the street, then they're allowed to park there. In this case, I've been told that there's no parking signs along the whole street. If that's the case, then they're not allowed to park there and they can be ticketed. But there's not much we can do from either RPRC or planning board to regulate it beyond what's already regulated on the street. So I think that's where we are. The town engineer, and John in particular, has paid very close attention to stormwater, and I believe, he feels that what's being proposed is is good.
It's gonna be positive.
Yeah.
However, I need some additional information,
Okay.
which I state, right?
So Ralph, can you take us through the site plan and what's being proposed and then the architecturals too? So we can take a look at
Sure.
that.
I'll do the best I can with the architecturals.
Yeah, just to
But
see
the-
it, you know.
Yep, so the site plan, so this is the existing conditions. Driveway is right here, if you can see my cursor. House is right here, existing septic is in the back in this area. As you mentioned, this developer built the house next door and one across the street. There was, some drainage issues in the road. I believe the highway department cleaned and or replaced some of the pipes in that area, and I think that's improved that. There was also a significant amount of stormwater coming from the previously developed lot onto this lot right now. Right now we have 2 swales on 12 Seymour that pushes water towards the rear. And we're proposing this house here, which is essentially in the same location as the existing house. The driveway, we are wrapping around to the other side. We are taking the stormwater from the house and the upper portion of the driveway, bringing it to a Cultec system, infiltration system in the rear of the property. We did do testing back there with the town engineer. And then we're going to discharge that to the rear. The rear discharges go into the trip lane right away, and then it goes into like an established drainage ditch, which eventually makes its way to a large wetland. We're also proposing a swale right along the property line to alleviate any water from our development going onto the neighbor's property, going towards 8 Seymour, so that'll also be intercepted. We are only proposing to take down 3 trees in this driveway turnaround area near the garage. I think that's it for the site plans.
Yeah.
Adam, I don't have the latest architecturals. So if you can pull those up.
It said 7 trees in the application.
Yeah.
That was a previous plan. I don't think the tree application plan was updated.
Okay. See if this is. Galina, is that you who just joined?
Yes, it's me. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hey.
All right. So we've talked about the site plan. Now we're talking about Lou's house design. So maybe
Okay.
since you're here, you could take us through and explain what you're doing, and in particular, discuss with us how this design is the same or different from the other houses you built on the street.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this house, is classic farmhouse. Difference from 12 Seymour and 9 Seymour, it's number one, roof line completely changed by my architect. We make roof line not like rectangular, we make a hip roof. It's number one. Number two, we eliminate all dormer from a roof compared with to another house. Number three, we put a peak in the front of the house. They sit on a front porch, which is completely different design. And we added little bit small roof in front between garage and house. Now, we decided to change front elevation with stone. So we added square and rec stone, and Louis Architect always put as a optional, because this is how architect put in plan in case client really do not want to do stone, that will be siding. But my attention to put a stone, I don't have a buyer yet. I will do rec and square gray color stone. Now, color of the house. I like to put gray, will be hardy board, gray, but if buyer will insist to put a white, because white color easy to change for any kind of color. You basically spray and painting. It's not like yellow or dark or gray. So that is my attention. And difference window on a garage. We have a 4 small window. And I spoke with my neighbor, Brian, which is 8 Seymour Place East. And I think he chose elevation with 4 windows small, compare 3 big window. And what else? We will put 4 columns.
You're talking about the garage here?
Garage
You're talking
area
about the
over,
garage?
yeah, garage area. My neighbor make a comments, he like to put a 4 small window, it's difference, and I will listen him. We do have 2 options, 3 classic window, long or 4 small. So you have 2 elevation, 2 options in my plan.
Oh.
So yes,
Both?
you're welcome to
Oh,
look.
I see. Yes, you did. There it is. Okay.
Yes. So we have 2 options, and he like 4, and I want to make him happy. If he like 4, I want to make it 4. So next we do have a siding difference. It's not horizontal hardy board. It's all front vertical, which is give you difference look. So that basically changes in the back. We eliminate porch, like was covered porch in a 12 Seymour. It's like a big slider door in 9. So it's completely different. But yes, it's farmhouse. It's classic, elegant. This is what people like to pay for millions for this type of
Galina,
house.
we got it. I think we all prefer the 3 versus the 4. That looks a lot better.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Okay, I appreciate that.
I'm gonna pull up the aerials to give us some sense of the other houses you built, and then we can talk. So here's one of them, which gives you a pretty good idea. Okay, so basically these are all the same house. What Galina is doing is, modifying the facade.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other one we should.
Square footage.
You pretty much, it's that same house, yeah. So here's the other one.
So close.
There we go. So that is the other one.
Hmm.
Okay. So I guess the question, and this is really directed towards Mel, how do you feel about what's being proposed now? With this?
To me, it still looks very similar to the other 2 houses with tiny little minor changes, so I think that's the reason why the neighbors are having an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because even with this design, it's really just 2 peaks that were done, that are different. If you see the peak over the roof on the other one, and this peak is actually sitting over the front porch. So I think that this may be an issue.
Okay.
And small roof too. We have a small roof between garage and house, which do not have 9 and do not have a 12. Yeah,
This
you
you're
can
done.
see that. Okay, so that is changes with the roof. You have no
But
dormer.
there's still very minor changes that when you look at the other houses, you can see the similarities of all 3. Right?
Yeah, but
So
it's
none of
farm
these houses
colonial.
actually stand out.
Correct. But this how farmhouse look. This is what people like
Yeah, I
to
mean, we're
have
calling it
today.
farmhouse because we're putting vertical siding and black windows. That really doesn't make it a farmhouse. It has a style of a farmhouse, but it's not. really a
Correct. We have a
farmhouse.
front
Actually, it's
porch.
a colonial, all the other houses.
Correct. Correct. But that is classic colonial farmhouse with front porch, no doorman, different roof hip, and different single window, not a triple, and stone in front, and roof between garage, different window. How much you can do change? House is house, have roof, window, and porch.
Sent to architecture.
I will not change this house. I'm
They don't
sorry.
want to see.
Galena, look, this is a conversation we've got Mel who's on the ARB. He is saying he thinks it makes sense to have a conversation with them about this. We know that this is an issue in the neighborhood as well. You very well may be able to make the case that what you're doing is fine, but I think we've got to defer to the ARB if that's what we're hearing here.
Yeah, but
When
what
do
you
you-
plan
when do
me
you-
to change? I not change design beautiful house which people pay for $1 million. That was they like to have it. How can I change this house? My built-in envelope very
Oh.
tight. I have a
Look,
setback from.
The reality though is one of the main charges of the ARB is to ensure whether houses are too similar or too dissimilar. I absolutely appreciate your point, but when we have an ARB member at the RPRC saying that this is something that they think they need to look at, we'll vote here, but it's hard to say, well, no, don't do that, right? When that's one of their basic functions.
I understand if you have room to change, you have a setback 31 from both sides. Your flexibility to move house to the back 0. Your neighbor doesn't want me to move house and change little bit bump design because he's pulled in left side. So I put exactly.
I get all that, but what I'm saying is it's really the ARB's purview. So we've got an ARB member saying this is something that he's concerned about. The right board to deal with that is the ARB, right?
Correct, but if I send with the same plan to RB, I'm change nothing. I will not change this house because my buyer who I have like this style classic house, and I added stone to look different. I did not. It's style house, which is colonial classic farmhouse. What do you want me to change? How do you want me to change? If they want me to change framing, we don't have a room, any kind of room to make 45-degree garage, or we can go with different peak. I don't know how you able to change. Yes, I can go to meeting and tell exactly the same what I tell now. How you want me to change a house? We have no flexibility.
We have five very qualified members in ARB, and we just want to look at it, brainstorm.
Correct, but I'm not
discuss.
redesign this
Go for
house architecturally because I have no room. This have to be 82 inches, have to be porch. That was people like it. Roof color, I can put gray. Color shingles, I can put difference. Color siding difference, but have to be front porch. That was people pay
The
100,000.
architecture of it is how it affects neighbors and how it affects the street that the house is being built on. So we have to send it there. I don't think there's an option. And we can go.
Yeah, but I'm not. What is the point me to go to a meeting if I'm not redesign this house? I have no room to twist
I
it.
think,
This
Selena,
house.
what Mel is saying they might want you to do, I don't know, horizontal siding versus vertical, you know, I
But
don't know, change.
horizontal siding, we have already in 2 houses. That's why I changed. We was very
I'm just
careful.
using that as an
So
example.
we'll need you to bring samples of the stone, samples of the siding, samples of the roof. If you're doing any metal, bring that as well too. We want to know the details of the windows. Are they Pella? Are they Anderson? Are they black? Grid patterns. We'll also want you to bring pictures of the other houses too, because we want to see the similarities on it. I don't think we're gonna make you change the structure or architecture of the house, but we're gonna work with those things. So if you could bring those things over, let's work on that and we can go from there. I think you're making a bigger deal than what it is.
No,
You
I
just
will
have-
not go to, I'm sorry, I'm not changing my house with all respect for everybody. I will not change the design. Design was done 2 months very carefully with very respect to neighbor and change all. I have the same hardy siding like I always use, and we can do color gray. I have this stone, it's a stone, rack and square. How you can do stone samples. Stone is different variation. You cannot bring whole stone to you. And I don't understand what is the point me to go to meeting if I'm not planned to change. Window, I used last 5 years, all Anderson 400 series. They specify in architect, specify absolutely color black, everything there in my plan. And I don't know what you want to add it. Siding is hardy. So what do you want me to change? If I go to meeting, how you want me to change? Siding already vertical, not horizontal. Roof hip, not straight. Color gray, not black. Stone in the front. How you want me to change? So
At the
make
end
no
of the
s-
day, it may be nothing, but what I'm hearing Mel say is, you know, he wants the whole board to look at it, come to some agreement. And it may be the same, it may be different. He's saying that he feels that it's important. And, you know, look, we'll vote, but I respect that. You know, let's see. So,
It may be that nothing changes, but it
Right.
still has to go through there.
so let's see where we end up here. So we've got comments. The applicant will address the engineering comments. I don't have any planning comments on where the house is going to be. The biggest issue of contention is, you know, the design of the house and how similar it is to the other houses. We have Mel suggesting that this really needs to go to the ARB for them to discuss it as a group. So I'll make a motion.
Could I just go
Yeah,
back to the site
please.
plan again?
Yeah.
And talk to Ralph about it?
Yeah.
Because a big issue also is the drainage.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
a very big issue. Can we put the site plan back up?
can you pull it back up, Ralph?
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do here is divert a lot of the stormwater,
To the back.
yeah, from the roadway area, which now goes to the roadway. Or neighbor's property to the back Trip Lane.
Yeah,
Where there's a nice swale along Trip Lane, which flows down into a stream and a wetlands, and it doesn't hurt anybody. Slowing anybody else's house. So I guess the issue, Ralph, you were gonna obtain additional topo in the rear?
Yeah,
So
so
we-
we're gonna get some topo in the rear and off our property onto the Trip Lane right away.
Okay, because we really need that to finalize the drainage, make sure it all gets over there, right?
Yeah, walking the property, you know, I think you might have walked it also. There's a drop over there, but we just need the exact numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll add that to the plan.
Now, I noticed the swell along the property line got a little shorter and the pipe in the current drain isn't within the swell any longer. Is that because of we're not sure of the grades that we can?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this swale as far as I can. So if it, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but if it ends up to be somewhere in this area, then that's what I'm gonna do. I just didn't want to put hard numbers on the plan until I got that information and shared it with you.
Okay. If we
But
could
yeah,
put a curve in there, we will.
what's that? Yeah, if I can put like a perforated pipe at the bottom of the swale, yeah.
Okay. It's all gonna be based on the elevations in the rear.
Yep.
Okay. And the water going to Seymour now in the proposed plan is less this, I see there's some drainage from the driveway going there, only because of elevation, we have no choice.
Correct. The existing driveway now goes to that spot. There's actually drains along the driveway in the existing driveway. So we're kind of replicating the same amount. That's why I'm taking this front area and bringing it to the rear and just leaving
Good.
this area here, the front going to Seymour.
So we're not increasing the water to Seymour.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, I just want to show that because I didn't see any calculations yet.
Yeah, the stormwater report is it's done, but it's just not, it wasn't in a state that I wanted to submit it, so I just have to clean it up and compile it.
Okay, let's just show in that report that it's a decrease to Seymour,
Okay.
if we, okay? And
Yep.
and erosion, during construction, erosion control is a big concern. Can we do a
Yes.
sediment basin in the front? Do we have room without taking down any trees?
In the front, yeah, I think we can put one in there on the side of the driveway without affecting any trees.
Okay, maybe we'll put the swale in before we even start. That will be part of the erosion controls along the property line. So we can divert that even maybe to a basin in the rear.
That's a good idea. Yep.
Okay, as long as we're thinking the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Simon.
Can I provide any comments?
I'm Brian, I live at 8 Seymour Place East, so the neighbor on the other side. No, I've since some of the unusual rainfall and things, we've just been experiencing flooding and stuff, so I had some good conversations with Galena. John's come out, walked the property. I think what's being proposed sounds like I really got to defer to John that it's gonna make a positive impact. My biggest concern has been about any additional negative impacts on my property, because it's a lower, slightly lower elevation. It sounds good. I'm gonna defer to you guys, just like, Galena kindly asked my opinion about the windows, but I don't know, so I defer to you guys if 3 look better than 4. I don't have that expertise or eye for that type of thing.
Brian,
Yeah.
have you done any maintenance to your system yet?
Which system?
All your drains and everything? And clean out the bottom?
There's some, so there along my driveway, there are some drains that feed
Feeds into the town system.
One the main one that's closest to this property seems to be functioning fine, as long as water's not coming. We had water that was coming from the street side onto my property, but that seems to be improved based on, the flush out that the highway department did and replacing one drain. Again, we haven't had, between September, December, and January, we had some really big rainfall, so
Yeah.
we haven't had that yet. So, but so far it looks good. So I have not addressed the drains any additionally on my property, to answer your question.
But I believe the improvements that are proposed with this plan will be a positive improvement to your property.
And it's not even just you too. I remember Sterling Road North, a property we were looking at, also had water issues, just flowing all the way down the street. So I think it's, you're representing the neighbors, but it's also affecting others as well.
It has been, and again, I've had conversations with Galena and appreciate the swale and however it's designed. Originally, it had the piping in there, so to
And
be determined
Ralph said it, yeah, based
if it
on
can be.
elevation, if he can do it, it'll
Right.
be there.
if the driveway, I'm not sure which way the driveway's gonna be pitched. It had gotten redone by a previous neighbor, and I think wound up pitching towards me versus running off into the street. So I know that's something,
Yeah, I
the
think
drainage
It's
wise.
being curved, correct, Ralph?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. There's drains being proposed in the driveway in the lower section to discharge to Seymour. But everything you can elevation wise on the top, the platform area outside the garage and a portion of the drive in front of the house that you can back pitch, and the house itself is all being taken to the rear,
Correct.
where it's first gonna be treated and discharged.
And if the swell could be done as you suggested ahead, I think Galena might have even mentioned it. That would be great, because I'll minimize erosion, which seems to just happen, you know, until sod really takes and other
Sure.
stuff, because we were getting a lot of dirty water coming onto our property.
That'll be part of Ralph's erosion
Yeah,
sediment
erosion.
control plan, which he hasn't really prepared yet.
But you're okay moving forward as conditions? I mean, all of this.
Yeah,
addressed.
and since I spoke,
Yeah.
you know, speaking
You're on the same
about
page.
now, we're thinking this same ideas, right?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. That's not an issue. It makes sense to put that swale in first.
All right, so let's figure this out. You know, we've got strong opinion that this needs to go to the ARB by the ARB rep. I'll make a motion to move this forward, but subject to ARB review. Does anyone want to second that motion? Aaron? All right, all in favor? Aye, all opposed? No. All right, Galena, so look, I understand you're concerned about making major changes to that design, but it sounds like that's not gonna be, you know, the case, right? They are, I don't think gonna tell you to redesign this whole house. So I'd say go in there, have a productive conversation, and I'm sure there'll be some meeting of the minds. And I understand your position that you don't think it's gonna be substantial. I get it. Okay? All right, guys.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna adjourn the meeting at 10:41. All right, thanks, Ralph.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you, guys.